Our story begins one gloomy day, with stormy winds and pouring rain. I tried to fight that mighty storm, but all my efforts were in vain. I thought I was the only one to crash this distant shore, but hearing voices, looked around to find there were 5 more. One was a manager of a well-known firm, a practical and calculated man. If he can't tell what's going on, then who for God's sakes can? The shifting tides carried him off, further and further from his goals. Now all his schemes and business plans are crushed upon the rocky shoals. Another was a judge on her lofty quest for justice, fighting her way through verdicts and laws to stand up for all that's right. Numerous cases, countless facts, contradicting truths beyond compare, she schemes the murky water for some answers to our plight. The third, a big producer, with people to manage and things to get done. She tried to handle them all at once, but ended up managing none. The fourth was a journalist in search of fame, set after the next award-winning scoop, but the frequent sways of the global media keep him hopelessly out of the loop. So much information, so many technologies, what's news this morning will be no news by noon. He desperately needs a quiet perspective, but it seems the winds won't quiet down anytime soon. The fifth was a coacher, used to tackling challenges, confident in her ability to handle challenge and reach success. Failure is not an option. She swims and swims against the current, but now she's overcome by the chaos and the mess. And me? I'm just a curious boy. I'd like to learn a thing or two, but in my distress keep on forgetting things I definitely knew. We stood together and tried to think, each intent on his own say. They argued on from dusk to dawn, till suddenly I shouted, "Hey!" I heard there is a land, I said, where skies are blue and the sun shines bright. If we keep on fighting, we'll never get there, but with little cooperation, we just might. The things you say are all okay, none are wrong, and all are fine. Let each contribute their own way, your ways are just as good as mine. And once we got that cooperation going, each contributing what he or she could, we built a giant hot air balloon and left that forsaken place for good. Above the darkly clouds we rose, towards the sun and clear blue skies. We felt at once so much relieved, and everyone released their sighs. From this broad perspective, it all makes sense. From this bird's eye view, our problem seemed so plain. We steered towards the bright horizon, seeking civilized terrain. On our way we watched the landscape change. Seasons passed and eras flew by, the wild earth transformed by men. But then we heard a human cry, and looking down at shock we saw that our storm was not unique, as storms were breaking all around, those miserable billions on the ground, consumed by hunger, poor and weak. The armies marched upon each other, no longer telling friend from foe. Good thing we were high up above, detached from all the pain below. Suddenly, we felt a jolt as we got caught in their crossfire. And as the ground drew near, we thought, is this the end to all we've planned? To admit our defeat to the grueling storm and never reach our promised land? Well, sure, we felt frustrated to be back within the gloomy storm, but knowing that we've managed before, we fixed the hole and set off once more. The balloon rose but a few feet up. Burdened by our heavy load, it kept on flying low. We felt the weight of all we've gained, and knew we'd have to let it go. And so we cast upon the ground everything we could afford, ideas and facts and tools and thoughts, like pieces on a giant board. It worked! Up and up we gained more height, and looking down, what a sight! The things we cast from our balloon transformed the landscape as if by spell. Then more and more balloons appeared, rising to the sky as well. I wonder now, my dearest friends, which of those is your balloon? Let us rise above our fears and reach the land we dreamt of soon.